is there something that you had to introduce into your daily life that helps you just maintain your balance and keep you not just in tip-top shape in your immune system, but also in your, I guess, more psychological, spiritual immunity?
Yeah, I think that it's natural for anybody. I think it's probably pretty equally balanced, really. We go through a lot of training for the work that we do, and I hope that that's been sort of presented in the nature of the conversation that we had. So within that, there's also a balance, right? Like an endurance runner can run a lot of miles, and somebody else would say, like, "Wow, how do you do that?" Well, it's like, well, did a lot of training to run the nature of those miles. We done a lot of training to be able to be in these spaces as often as we are, and I honestly would not recommend it for other people unless they also wanted to significantly train and dedicate their life to it. That being said, it's the normal daily life that's much harder than the movement from these sessions or ceremonies into normal daily life and back again. That a lot of people think is where the stress is, but it's not. It's when we're doing 5, 6, 7 straight hours, 10, 11, 12, even on computers, and we're dancing between chat apps and internet and business and all of the complex logistics that sit behind organizing everything and running businesses and being in really what is just typical modern everyday life where the real stresses are. It's like there's a kind of tiredness that starts to really accumulate over time, and sleep starts to get affected, and there's sort of digital dissociation, like a mild ADD that starts to form from dancing between these algorithms and apps. And then there's, the things that you would try to do to kind of get away from it. And I think that's where a lot of people start to develop their spiritual practices. And I don't think we're any different in that way. What I've found that works best for me personally is to do lots of little things throughout the day instead of big things. I have a lot of difficulty unless it's sitting down to really like do a session or work with people to actually get the time to get away from it all. And so, our daily routine is just so packed with so many different things. In the morning, like when I take a shower, I'll do something in the shower. I'll ask the water to like balance me and cleanse me. And I'll take a couple of breaths like throughout probably, every couple hours throughout the day. I'll just stop everything. I'll recenter, 2, 3 deep breaths, calming the mind, some self-invocation, just like, hey, calm down, everything's fine. If any stresses have gotten in, release them. I find that to actually be really easy to be able to maintain the upkeep. And then we have the sessions themselves. And those are obviously helpful because you're back into the medicine and the visionary states and you gain benefit from that. But for sort of like normal maintenance and stuff like that, I try to like remember love and how much I love and the things I love. It's really easy for the mind to get distorted and to forget about that. And the power of love is really incredibly strong in terms of resetting and helping. So I try to go to the things that I love, like my dog. I completely love my dog. So I like go to my dog every day, 3, 4, 5 times a day and tell him how much I love him and connect with him. Same, I have 2 dogs. So same thing with our other dog, like love them so much. So like that love helps reset. And then just like, if I get stressed, just remembering that it's not worth it. Like if soon as it's over, calm back down. Practicing how to calm down is an unbelievably important skill in today's world. Like everything around us is designed to jazz us up. So even like the things that we drink in the morning are things to make uppers. And then the dopamine reaction in the brain working on computers, even if you're just like on email software, there's all of this like psychological distortion inside it to keep you using it and engaged with it, even down to like the little impulses of like when you send an email, you get the sound, right? These are these little rewards that come through that kind of changes the dopamine in our brain and our brain chemistry and stuff. And so to recognize that that's kind of like little manipulations and to drop out of it all. Recenter around what really matters to you because it's easy to get distanced from that. So like if your work is important to you, if your family is important to you, it's really easy to get flipped around and have that become a problem. Like I don't have enough time and I want to be with my family. I need to be spending more time with my family. Like those kinds of thoughts can come in. Like chill those out to the best of your ability and go back to the heart and just reinforce why you want to be with them in the first place. Like how much you love them, how much it means to you, how much the bond is important to you with your loved ones. Then the breath, learning how to take really deep breaths like not just like meditative breaths, but just like really full, amazing breaths. And then letting it go, like it feels so good. And then it's just like letting it out is so important as well, because like pent up tension and stress will just melt away from the body. And that's like a little mini reset to have. Realizing that you can always take, like always in time, you can take 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. It's not going to ruin your day or your life or anything to take 2 minutes. So take them whenever you need them. And I think all of those things combined ultimately helps maintain a more balanced state, kind of with everything that we face in the modern developed world.
I love that. And I really appreciate you also showing that, like, you know, we all toggle between tasks, and a lot of the mundane stuff is really what seems to drain us. It's built into the way that our society seems to operate. And it's important to realize that whether you're toggling between, you know, your inner world and ayahuasca and, you know, back to a, you know, a more mundane form of work, sitting in front of a computer for hours and hours a day as a filmmaker, it is one of the biggest drains on me. And just adopting a posture that's seated for 12, 13 hours a day needs attention, needs this upkeep. And as we've come to the end of this, I want to make sure that the audience knows how to engage with you, or anything that you want the audience to know as far as finding Blue Morpho, or anything that you have coming up that you want them to be aware of.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Thank you. So bluemorphotours.com is our website, and we have retreats scheduled for 2023. We'd love to have you come on retreats with us and come to get to know us and experience what we're talking about in person. So we have plant medicine retreats that are there on the website. So that's what we have going on right now at bluemorphotours.com. And then we're right now in the process of creating the Blue Morpho Academy, and we're really excited about that. This is going to be the first school to teach coaches and practitioners and facilitators a standardized knowledge base around all of the different kinds of plant medicine and psychedelic practices, so that as this psychedelic awakening and great renaissance is taking place, if you're a person who facilitates or helps other people and coach other people, in the next couple of weeks, part 2 of Medicine versus Sorcery, the sort of untold stories of ayahuasca, is coming out. It chronicles the second half of my apprenticeship, where we go from, in the first book, it's all about getting into the apprenticeship, and now it's about finding my stride inside the apprenticeship and telling the story about, halfway through to the conclusion of the apprenticeship, and that'll be available on Amazon. So Blue Morpho Tours, come and visit us. The Blue Morpho Academy is going to come at end of Q1, beginning of Q2 next year. And Medicine versus Sorcery, the next chapter, part 2, is coming out. So all of those things are super exciting. And you can always find us on Instagram at Hamilton Souther Official, and also Hamilton Souther on Facebook.